So the first part is, and everybody's talking about this, it's nothing new, we just felt like we had to touch on it, is the rapidly changing buyer behavior. And so this first slide here shows the different opinions of actual auto dealers and kind of where they think that digital is falling into the equation as far as budget and how consumers are using the experience. And so just to point out a couple of these and then have Wayne speak to where he thinks we fall into them all. But currently 35% of people believe the digital experience will help the process, but requirements for personal interaction will remain for advice, personal service, and being able to view the car. That's probably the camp I'm in currently. The next, most popular one is that customers will be able to buy, finance, and have a car delivered completely via an online interaction. And I mean, Wayne, we know that's happening right now.
It is.
How much do you guys do this direct to selling to other dealers or direct to consumer, maybe out of state? Is that a part of what you're doing currently?
Very little. A lot of this information's starting to take hold. Tesla is probably one of the one-car manufacturer that's probably the leader in this. But I don't think we've come to that point yet in our society that everything can be done via digital. Right now, the most that we do is probably to the construction end or the commercial end of the field where they're just too busy. They want everything to be taken care of for them just by a phone call and vehicle delivered to them and what have you. Or people that are just, their lives are just too busy. They're probably more of the one percenters that are out there that have that kind of opportunity for someone to hand deliver their vehicle to them. But for the average consumer, doesn't fall into that. I think they're 24%. It's just a little bit high yet. I don't think our society has come to that yet. Probably another generation, you'll see more of that happening.
Absolutely, and just the percentage right below that is customers will be able to purchase nearly the entire car, but the final paperwork will still need to be completed in person, which is kind of funny because we work with another client in the local Utah area, which is Homey, and Homey has been very disruptive in the home buying and selling industry, and they've pretty much been able to automate the entire financial process. You do still have to go in and sign with titles, and so they haven't quite gotten away from that. But I would think that Homey probably agrees with that 22%, but would be expecting to move more into that 24% as they continue to automate every piece of the process. And so just as the home industry is going, I would imagine the auto industry will go as well.
Oh, without a doubt, everything's changing, and you have to change with it. You can't be left behind. And you're right, that aspect of it, which I can see down the road, where everything is signed online. You don't even have to be there in person.
Yeah.
So I can see that happening.
And then the last little group here is the car purchasing is not an industry that can be disrupted by digital. That's laughable to me. I don't know how you feel there.
No,
yeah. I'd like to talk to those 6%. Maybe get an age demo. Maybe there's a common denominator there, but definitely don't agree with that. And I think that you're seeing that with the movement of Tesla and some of these other. I mean, they're proving digital works. And then the last part is just car purchases will be viable with the click on your phone and mobile. I think that's another percentage you'll actually see go up as mobile devices consume our lives.
Absolutely.
The next is more of the buyer journey itself, and so we just wanted to show you a few of the different stages and where people put themselves as far as how they think that they interact with digital and how they end up experiencing the dealership experience. And so the first is just I narrow down the choice to one or two cars via manufacturer web information and then go to the dealer. That represents about a quarter of all people at this time. The next quarter is represented by I actually visit a dealer first, do additional manufacturer and third-party web-based research, and then make my decision. Third quarter, I guess, is I do my research and then call the qualified call center to book a test drive. And then the last quarter is broken down in between. I do my initial research through social media, which I think is a growing avenue. And then the last portion being, I do not use the website at all, I just visit the dealer. And so Wayne, I kind of wanted to just talk to you about each of those different personas, more or less, and
Okay.
what are you seeing? I mean, let's just talk through the first one. I narrow down the choice to 1 or 2 cars. Is that what you're, and then come into the dealer, is that kind of what you're seeing, or?
Yeah, you're seeing that, and I think that percentage is correct, at least in our dealership, where people will kind of come in with an idea already what they're looking for, and then try to make a decision on that basis.
There's an interesting stat there. In 2005, the average consumer was visiting 5 to 6 auto dealers. In 2015, that's been reduced to 2 to 3. And so I think through those stats, and again, you can have any type of report or metric, and I think Wayne actually being the guy on the ground here, I appreciate that he would acknowledge that percentage. But I do think that the statistics across the nation are also vetting that people are doing more research online. Then this other half, I visit a dealer and then go back and do research. What do you think about that?
Well, in the car industry, that's called the B-backs, and you're finding more of those in today's society, where people, they want to go in a comfortable atmosphere, take a look at some of the vehicles that they were considering, and then go back and do some additional research and making their final decision. And how they were treated at the dealership will determine whether or not they come back here or back to the other one. And you're correct, they're not going to see 5, 6 different dealers already. They've done their research online. They know kind of what they want and who they want to shop with, and what kind of reaction they got from any kind of previous inquiries that they've made through the dealership.
Again, to come back to that on the B-backs, I think there might be some underlying definition of that. However, what is it that you think you guys have done, and maybe a trick that you could help the group with as far as B-backs probably not coming back? How are you getting B-backs to come back?
Well, in the car industry, it was always before, when somebody came in, you get that sale now. Because if they go down the road, a better salesman will get the sale now. Well, then that individual that was probably looking for the vehicle was put into a vehicle they didn't want, that they were, something that they weren't comfortable with. So in our dealership, we try to make them as comfortable as possible. We give them a very friendly and warming atmosphere to make their car decision in. And if they do leave, they'll be coming back because of the way we treated them. And what we offer too, which we offer at our dealership, is that lifetime engine and transmission warranty on used and new vehicles. So that gives us a leg up, you might say, in the industry, or in our local industry. So that's what we really try to work on, those 2 factors: how we treat our customers, and with that offer of the lifetime.
So that's fantastic. Kind of more or less the customer experience, but a little bit of a hook as well.
Yes.
True marketer's toolbox. Let's talk a little bit about this next group. I do my research and then call the qualified center to book a test drive. I think that might be, through our conversation, Wayne, something that's a little bit third-party program that you're using. Can you kind of describe what that is?
There's almost all the third parties are getting to that point now where they want to find the qualified buyers out there, and there are different types of social and marketing techniques. The people, because now you just don't take a mailer or email blast just to everybody. That's a waste of time and energy. Now they're honing it down to those that are qualified buyers that are coming into the market, and those are the ones you definitely want. They're lower in the funnel, and then once they find that individual will be contacted either by them or by us to set up a time for them to come in at their convenience to take a look at the vehicle, test drive the vehicle, and that vehicle needs to be ready with their name on it, sitting there, presentable, so when they drive up and they go, oh, there's our car, it has our name on it already, so they go in there, there's no pressure, they know exactly what they were looking for, they weren't hooked to come in on a different type of vehicle that they weren't or they didn't have any intention of even looking at. So again, being very transparent and open to the customer's needs.
The table reservation model of car sales, huh?
Yeah.
Awesome. And then there's this last 4% that just do not use the website at all. Do you get people like that, Wayne?
Well, we get those people that just drive by and they go, we ask them what caused you to come in to buy a vehicle from our dealership. Oh, we're just driving by and we happen to see it. But if you talk to them more, they have used digital to research, Google and what have you, to do some research. They've done some research online to get some kind of an idea. So yes, they might have just stopped by and we were lucky. We happened to have the right vehicle out there that they were having to drive by and buy. And but they still did digital research.
Absolutely, and I don't think that number is ever going to get to zero, simply for the fact that the unfortunate fact, I guess, of our nation, that we don't have free Wi-Fi and internet for all. And so there's obviously those people who just don't have the accessibility to it, who are going to still need a car. And so hopefully that'll change as we build the nation's infrastructure a little bit to make everybody have an equal playing field for this digital that's so much a part of our lives at this point. The only section of that we are just going to skip for now, because we have a whole section on reviews, is the social aspect of that, but we'll be coming back to that.